on this computer. Hey guys, this I know you see this new camera in front of me. Also, you see Will with he's representing the Flash better than me. I have a Shrek shirt on right now. So so what are we talking about today, Will? What episode are
Um,
we on?
so we are talking about this new episode, and the title of it is
Crazy for you.
Yes. The crazy thing is, I was not so crazy about this episode. So there were some really great moments in it. And we'll get to that later as we go on. But to me, it also kind of felt all over the place. There were like four different subplots or so going all at once, and they couldn't just stick to one and fully
Yeah.
flesh it out.
Yeah, I feel you. Definitely going to get into it, but before we get there, my brief thoughts. I'm kind of similarly aligned with you, but we'll go ahead and get into the first part of my notes here. So season 1, episode 12, Crazy for You. CW Flash. I don't know why I said that. Everybody knows what this show is, but really effective opening scene. Starting with the victim's perspective. I did you feel like at first when you watched this, you're like, am I watching the right episode? What?
Yeah, you were like, man, this is really number one is it the right episode because of who it was, but number two, it's like just the way they started off is like, did I like skip the beginning or are we
Yeah,
just right in the middle? Like,
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, but my notes say, this peek behind the camera, we or curtain or whatever this is. We tried to record yesterday, so some of the time I feel like I'm be going over some stuff I went over before, so I'm gonna try to just do it a little better for you guys. But yeah, so obviously he saves it, saves both of them. There's like a car explosion. It's like really harrowing, and like there's some serious moments in this episode actually that it kind of surprised me, to be honest with you.
yeah, I agree. This is really the first time in the show so far that we've really gotten to see John Wesley Shipp really show up and see his acting so far too.
Yeah. And just briefly on him, you can tell what a good actor he is because when inevitably we get to the Flash from the 90s show, very different characterization. Like he even does stuff different with his face, I noticed this time, like when he's talking, like because I met him in person, so like like whenever I
Yeah,
met him for that brief when it actually signed my 90s Flash DVD box set, but he very different from how he is like in real life, so you can tell he's just like a really good actor. I really liked him at this point. I know later on, without getting into spoilers, he makes some decisions I don't necessarily agree with, but I really liked him in this episode.
yeah, no, I agree. For me, I hadn't seen the original show, so all I'm thinking of is, man, I've never really seen this guy in anything else. He was probably just like a one-off TV actor that just kind of phoned it in. And so, you're really surprised when you see just the level of just acting talent that he has in some of these scenes.
Yeah, because definitely, I mean, just briefly going on the how he is in the Flash show, he's very different from Barry Allen in the CW, which we'll obviously get into, but when we get into that show, but he starts off like Batman. Like it's gonna be interesting. He's much more vengeful at the beginning, so like it's like much more mobsters, and then it gets goofier later. But that's not what you guys came here to see. We're gonna get back to the to the episode. But yeah, I can't wait to actually get to some of those. There's like a time travel episode that's really good in the 90s Flash, but we'll probably get into some of that stuff later on.
Sweet.
But yeah, but just right after he saves those two people, the cold after the cold open, the banner between Team Flash is really natural sounding, and it feels like they know each other. Like you can definitely tell the actors are getting more comfortable with their roles in general. Did you
I
feel
also
like
think
that
that
too?
was I think that was the purpose of this scene was to show us, because number one, this is episode 12. This is really the kickoff of the second half of the season for me. And
Yeah.
I think this scene was there just to show us, like, okay, these guys have been doing this for a while now. This is like a regular thing. It's not new anymore. Let's see what new stuff we can introduce for the second half of the season.
Yeah. And just going off that, that's actually the perfect segue. Um, so obviously, just getting into, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Cisco wants Caitlyn to like go out and like kind of just get like you know just get out, be social because I think he feels like she's not really moving on. And so we see, speaking of new directions, we kind of see a little bit of a flirtation between Caitlyn and Barry, where like she calls him to like research a place and they just go out for drinks basically.
Yeah, man, summer loving.
Yeah.
And he deserves a peek, you know.
Yeah, that was he class act of a guy, honestly. Like
Yeah,
that right there, like even in his like civilian life, he's a good person. Like when it's not like he's not performing for anybody or like, like these big saves, like he just does little things like that.
for
And
sure. Now, I think that the dynamic between Barry and Caitlin was obviously the big point of the show. What did you think of that? And do you wish it would have carried on?
yes. Me and Amanda are both like in lockstep with that. They just like their chemistry is really good. Like they definitely do play up on it later. Going into the future, again, you're watching a rewatch thing, but going into the future, there's like a shapeshifter or something that's Barry, and I think Barry kisses Caitlyn, and then Caitlyn is like into it. So like there's clearly like some like stray feelings there. I kind of wish that they had set
Unrequited.
them up for a little bit instead of. I don't even remember Linda Park. She seems fun and
Really?
everything. Yeah, I don't remember her at all.
Are you
Did you?
serious?
Yeah, yeah, I'm dead
Yeah.
serious.
Oh no, I actually really like Linda. I was super happy when she showed up. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I wish they would have kept around more. The actress Maylis Chow actually, I've seen her in something before. I want to say it was some Disney Channel show or something that she was on. But yeah,
That makes sense, especially with the time period, and they're pretty young, so they probably got their start on either Disney or like Grant, which we see in this episode, got their start on like a singing based show. So anytime they could have them singing, they were going to do it.
yep,
Yeah, but yeah.
the musical episode.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm actually looking forward to rewatching that. That was a fun episode from my memory. But yeah. I like that I like that Cisco wants to go out with Team Flash. It kind of like shows the difference between the two teams. Arrow is very much more like we have to track down this terrorist or else Central City's going to be blown to smithereens or something. And then like this show is much more like, "Oh, let's have fun." But what did you think of that? Like
yeah, I agree. I would also say too. I think part of that is also that at night, at least, the reason they don't go out at night is that's usually when they're fighting crime. They probably don't sleep much because they're worried that some assassin or someone is going to sneak in and kill them.
yeah.
And they're also currently dealing with some problems of their own, as the Arrow is no longer around, nor the Canary.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How's that? Also, you mentioned this before. How's that rewatch with the Arrow shows?
Hey, I love Arrow. There hasn't even season three and some of the parts that I didn't like so far, or whatever. Rewatching Arrow has been one of the best experiences I've had, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait till you get to the later stuff because I've seen all the seasons and like
Yeah,
there's some stuff later on that like I need somebody else that's also seen the show to talk to because like I just have all this stuff and I'm like I have all these thoughts and yeah, I can listen to someone online talk about it, but it's not the same thing as having like
yeah.
somebody you can bounce stuff off of.
No one that you know has finished the show, I guess.
Yeah, other than
That's me. Yeah. Well, I'm at season
yeah.
five now. Well, at the end of season five is where I finished off
That's a
before.
great season. That was one of those ones that as soon as that season was done, I'm like, I have to own this. I I think like honestly for me, and I'll see what your rankings are, and also we can do rankings of the Flash series, but
Of course.
my rankings of like the different seasons would probably be season two, season one of just the top three, and then like or wait, no. Yeah, season two, and then like season one, and then season five.
Oh,
Probably.
Vera.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm close to being with you on there. I would put season five number one. I would also go season two number two, and then season one. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just have to honor, the where it all came from
Oh,
kind of thing. Yeah.
You have to keep your promise, kid.
Yeah, I know. I never forget my promises. But yeah, oh, so second, look at this. I'll probably cut this part out. I love that Caitlin, upon finding out that Cisco is looking into Firestorm, is visibly upset but handles it gracefully while pointing out to Cisco why he shouldn't trust Hartley. Hartley really came into his own in this episode, don't you think? Like a little bit more?
Yeah, we got to see a little bit more of him and see a little bit more of the cunningness of him. And he got away.
Yeah. And I don't remember. I think he maybe comes back one more time, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I remember the character, but he wasn't like super memorable to me. So I don't
Yeah.
remember.
He's much more memorable this time. I kind of like on the second rewatch, I think he's one of those that they probably should have used. I mean, have him team up with another supervillain, why not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But speaking of supervillains, these supervillains in this episode sucked. Like the
Yeah.
visuals were good and like the
Wait,
spyglass thing, like she teleported, but like they were so generic.
wait, there were supervillains in this episode?
Right? Like it
I
was
thought this episode was about Barry and Caitlin getting back out there.
that's
Oh
all
wait,
I
no, I
remembered.
thought it was wait, wasn't it about Iris getting a story?
Oh dude,
Wait,
I
wasn't
got
it about Cisco feeling guilty about Ronnie and what timeline are we in?
yeah, Barry, what did you do? Oh man. But yeah, like I think I have a theory on that. Why the
Okay.
villains are super cliche and everything. I think it's probably because like we've kind of discovered in this, like they're trying to balance so many plot lines, and so like they're like, we can kind of like not really try with the villains. The villains aren't the focus. Don't make them like too prominent. Because it was that's what we remember. Like I only remembered the stuff with Caitlyn. I didn't even remember there was a villain in this episode, honestly. So that should tell you something right there.
Agreed.
Yeah. And then getting into the next thing. So going over the villain, we basically have an evil Nightcrawler. I like that she has, or Azazel to be more accurate, but I like the whole the spyglass thing. That's really the only cool part about her. Her outfit's boring. It's just like club clothes.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny that you say that because I'm rewatching X-Men the animated series right now in anticipation to watch X-Men '97. So I just finished the Nightcrawler episode.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny all the parallels there. But yeah, it she didn't really have a costume. I don't even think they gave her a name, did they?
Peekaboo.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay.
Just your face, man.
Yeah.
To be fair, Cisco didn't make up the name. It was Caitlin. So, like, I guess that's, how you write that off. Peekaboo, I cringed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but, oh, the teleportation effects were like really solid in this episode. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely give it that. They did it in a way that it just kind of fits seamlessly instead of like standing out, which is what they don't want to do is stand out.
Yeah.
Because when their effects stand out, they're normally bad.
Yeah, like early Smallville with like the. Do you remember like there was some moments where I would watch it and be like, if I squint, I guess it looks like what they're trying to portray on the
Yeah.
screen. Yeah. TV effects are not what they are now, where they look movie quality, guys. Like back then they were like that's why I think we got so excited with like the later stuff that they do in this season, especially the next episode, which we'll get into towards the tail end. But
Yes.
I'm gonna do a little game with you right now, and I'm gonna see if you remember this. What were the villains' names?
I don't remember. The only one that kind of intrigued me was the actual crime boss himself.
Yeah.
I forget what his name was, but I was gonna look him up and see if he had any actual comic history or not, but I never did. But
Yeah, I don't remember that. But it's Clay Parker, that's the prison, and Shauna is the other one.
oh,
I only remember that because I wrote it down. by the way, guys. Like I'm not like I don't have this amazing memory where I could just be like, oh, I remember it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going into the thing you said before. I also love that Joe arranged for Henry to come visit Barry because they haven't even hugged since he was locked up.
Yeah, man, that was, and again, you're getting to the best parts of this episode and really what it kind of should have been about.
Yeah.
Like for me, this episode is all right, Barry. You've been doing great for a while now. We just saw your best save. Let's kind of have a more relaxed, chill episode where Barry like takes a couple days off, does some CSI work, and runs into his dad, other stuff like that, and figures out how to move on.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was I forgot that they did this in this episode. It was kind of fun seeing Henry be like a detective, kind of like in the prison, like trying to just help out his son. And it's realistic too, because he
Well,
wasn't gonna tell him that he was doing it.
oh yeah, and if you want to get to that final scene, he's definitely a detective.
Yeah. Dude, you like I had vibes and I knew we can go ahead and get into that now while we're thinking about it. I knew that he knew, like, because there's been little hints in places
Oh
before
yeah,
this. Yeah, yeah. I
he
like
def
how he subtly said it without like just coming out and being like you're the Flash. Like I like how he kind of, said it without saying it.
yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, I agree. I think that scene at the end, which I'm sure we'll talk more about here in a few minutes, uh, that might have been my favorite scene of the entire series so far. Actually,
Wow.
the most touching one, at least.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. Like we'll have to definitely like revisit that in the future and see. But I'm not actually sure what mine would be. I guess maybe the pilot when like they have that first little moment where he's like talking to him and basically telling him like don't bother and everything. Basically what Zack Snyder ripped off whenever he was doing the Justice League movie. I like that, by the way, guys. Do not like come at me about that movie. I like that movie, but I'm just calling it as I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh, like I said, Hartley is underrated. I think like the Hannibal thing is like he does a really good job at it, and I don't know if you feel this way too. I think he would play like a great like classic Riddler.
Oh yeah, classic Riddler. He would very well fit that mold. He'd have to have some more of those animated jokes that he had in the previous episode as opposed to this one. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Oh yeah, so getting into Iris, I found the first Iris and Barry scene kind of boring. It's basically her just being unsure of herself at the paper and lamenting the fact that they only want Flash stuff from her. Also, I just now realized she never helps him with any of his problems, but Barry helps her solve all of hers. Makes her seem really selfish.
Oh yeah. No, this whole series is Iris being unsure of herself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then getting in while I'm also thinking about it, we're talking about this character. The scene where she's being the problematic person now. The scene where the whole
This
thing
one.
where she comes in, it's like, oh, you're here for me, like, but I gotta go see Eddie. And it's like, oh, I'm not here for you. I'm here for Linda. It's like, oh, well, like you don't even like him. Like, you're getting jealous now because he has a life outside of you.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, Iris sucks right now. But yeah, I
Did we
didn't
get
think it would
the
happen this soon.
did we get any Eddie in this episode? I don't remember.
Just him smiling at Barry like he always do. He goes, "Hey,
Okay.
Barry," like you know how he always goes.
That Eddie's such a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, okay. Once again, we didn't need Hartley making a kinky sex joke when Cisco pulls out the power inhibitor cuffs.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was just super inappropriate and like I don't know, man. I try to think like they're realistically the target audience at the time too was probably kids and like teenagers that watch the show with their
Yeah.
family, and it's like
I mean, it's like mild though too. I mean, to be fair, like the innuendo is kind of mild where it's just like, I mean, if you're like a kid watching it, you're not going to necessarily
that's fair.
understand what he's saying. But I already kind of went over this, but let me go with this one. I like that while Barry is appreciative, he tells Henry to stop because he's concerned over his safety. Also shows what a great guy Henry is that he's willing to help, like we kind of mentioned before.
Yeah, nah, I'm 100% on that one.
Yeah. I can't wait to get into the Flash original series. Like, since you're such a fan of his acting, it's very different. It's kind of sitcom-y, but we're gonna get into that later. But just can't wait, guys. But the bomb shadow scene was crazy. I was actually surprised by that. Where he's talking about the bomb shadow of
Yeah,
what's his name? Help me out here. What's the guy's name again?
uh,
The Stein. Yeah.
fine. Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think of that? I forgot it got that dark, really.
Yeah, it definitely got really dark. I thought it was really cool. Again, though, like the whole Firestorm arc is something that they didn't take as far as they should have.
Yeah.
It just kind of never fully realized itself for me at
Yeah.
least.
That's fair.
But the guy who plays Stein, Victor Garber, is world class at acting. Like, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Speaking of, oh wait, hold on. Um, did Cisco get fight training from Oliver? Because I was impressed that he was able to hold his own. Shows he's more than just intelligence. Like, that was actually kind of impressive, right?
Yeah, I imagine during the crossover he probably had like a quick sparring session. Maybe with Diggle actually, not Oliver, but yeah, I could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
And Diggle was probably just. Oh wait, never mind. You haven't gotten to that part in Arrow, so I can't make like a joke that's like a dig on him kind of thing. Anyway, speaking of intelligence, I like that he took a page from Hartley's book, Cisco, and tampered with the hearing aids so he could incapacitate him with that sonic remote. I thought that was like a really effective, like, thing. I mean, it doesn't work long term, but it was cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Um, I also like that Barry knows Caitlin well enough to tell that something is bothering her. Also, like the slight flirtation here with "We are quite the pair, Mr. Allen," and him agreeing with her, like that little flirty scene.
Yeah, I think at this point in the show they were just like testing out different fanships and things like that to see what people would like. And
You know what the fan? Do you know? By the way, do you know what the ship name is for this?
what is it?
Snowberry. I mean, it's got like a nice like ring to it.
Nice
Like,
little ring to it for sure.
it's better than Olicity. Like, that's not even a, yeah. Well, it's not an Arrow podcast. It's okay. We don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
But oh, I like this line. My social life consists of running at superhuman speeds and Netflix. I thought that was kind of funny.
You can
Also,
definitely tell the time period the show was written in for sure.
yeah, I think they even did I imagine this, or did they have like a Netflix and chill thing or something? Or maybe I'm thinking of another show I watched.
I think you're thinking of another show.
Yeah,
Not
yeah. Gotcha. Um, I didn't notice the first time around, but I want to see if you noticed this too. They reused a POV like super speed shot that's literally in the opening. Did you notice that?
no, when was that?
There's a moment where I forget exactly it's during like a night scene though, because I remember that because they artificially darken the scene itself, but it's like really quick. It's like a few seconds, and you see just like the cars. That's how I could tell. It's because it was like the row of cars and everything in the city. Like it's
Oh,
that
no.
that shot. Yeah. Because I always used to hear when I listened to reviews of this back in the day, it's like, oh, they reuse a lot of shots, and I'm like, where are they? And now rewatching it and like having the eye and also watching almost 9 seasons of this show, you pick up on some things. But yeah. Um, yeah. I love all the Easter eggs I picked up on a rewatch, like the Blackhawks. Did you notice that too? The security force whenever he
Yeah,
goes over there. Do you know what they originally were?
I do not.
Okay, I'll tell you. So the Blackhawks were originally World War II fighter pilots. And here they're more of just like a security like organization that transports money. That was a really deep cut for them, actually.
Definitely is, man. So I guess they're just like a private military organization now, but
Yeah.
reminiscent of that name. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just like I think this is around the time where Easter eggs become started becoming much more of like a thing, like a big thing that people would do in movies and
Oh,
TV shows. Yeah. Um, I like how the Flash seems comfortable in his role, almost mildly annoyed when Shauna challenges him to catch her, than actually concerned. But that was
Yeah, he's definitely he's like I said, he's experienced now. He's got a little bit of cockiness to him for sure,
yeah.
which
Uh,
gets stripped away at the end of the season. But yeah,
it gets stripped away in this episode a little bit, but
yeah,
going into the next thing, I thought the scene where Barry gets incapacitated by a bullet hitting his neck was super effective in how it was shot and actually tracks that while the Flash is becoming a better hero, he still is new at this.
oh yeah, definitely. And we continue to see that really for the next few seasons.
Yeah. Also, I have a very serious question to ask you. Is Eddie a golden retriever boyfriend? These are the questions we need answered.
Uh, I don't know what he is, but he's got my heart.
Yeah. I just love how always he just seems so genuinely happy to see Barry. Like he's like his best friend and everything. He's like,
Yeah,
hey Barry. I'm like, dude, he's so nice. I hate that I hate what happened to him.
me too.
Oh man. We might hey, if they had stayed together, there would be no We Are the Flash. So like I think I want to live in that timeline, honestly.
Yes, justice for Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. He comes back later, but that's all I'm gonna say right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh oh yeah, Barry, you can help her, but don't get sad when she plans with her actual boyfriend. I don't feel sorry for Barry here. I think that he was like getting all like because I think he ran into Iris at first and she's like, "Oh, well like, blah 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 like Eddie or somebody when like he runs into them outside." And
Yeah.
then like you see that little eye roll and everything. I do like that he pivots from that though and like goes on a date research with Caitlin. It's like it's good to see these characters moving forward, especially since we spent like 12 episodes with these characters, and I know now we're used to the modern TV show where it's like 8 episodes, 10 episodes. So it's like,
Yeah.
come on, let's see some forward momentum here, guys.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, had this show been a like 8, 10 episode show, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Personally, 10 episodes for a show.
Certain shows need longer episodes, not longer episodes but more episodes, and I think it's a
Mhm.
budget thing now, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. um yeah, I already went over that. I like that Barry is speechless when he sees Caitlyn all dressed up. Also like that they're both agreeing to let go of dead end relationships and look for what else is out there. She should dress up more. Like she really cleaned up. Like that, not that she's, like she's normally just in the lab coat, not lab coat, but like lab assistant type stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's so funny that to me that these are the things that we're talking about, I guess, for this episode, just because all the other episodes that we've really, really, really liked
Hmm.
has all been, oh man, Tom Cavanaugh was really, really great in this.
Yeah,
This is
this
the episode where there's not a lot of Tom Cavanaugh.
it's kind of her episode, honestly. That's actually one of my
Yeah,
notes. Like this is kind of like a highlight for Caitlyn,
it
and
really is.
I'm a fan of it. Like she's good. Was she? I know they're twins. Was she the one that was in Sky High, or was that her sister? Because I know they both act.
She was in Sky High.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I love that movie too, by the way.
Me too.
Where's this Disney? Where's the sequel to that, by the
So they're
way?
working on it, apparently.
It's too
Apparently,
late
that's
now.
still like, yeah, a thing.
Yeah. He's too old. Will Stronghold is like and is like almost middle age now, guys. It's a little too
Yeah.
late. But yeah. Oh man.
Hey, Russell's still cooking. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing like him again. I don't know. Like maybe they're probably gonna kill him off because it's like Kurt Russell. They're probably like, he's probably busy with that. I know he's doing something with his son right now, so they'll probably kill him off and be like, oh, I still gotta live up to my dad. That's probably gonna be the storyline. But yeah. Anyway, so this was extremely cute and in character. Caitlin's line delivery of "I'd like to start a tab" sounds like she's never said those words before together in a sentence, and like just completely shows what kind of person she is. That was a great acting moment.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. She definitely shows her that she's out of her element here.
Definitely. Um, I also love how happy she is, like smiling at Barry and everything. Like it's just really after she's been like, so like depressed and everything, it's really nice seeing her like genuinely like happy and like, happy to be somewhere and happy to be around people and enjoying herself. She
Agreed.
enjoys herself a little bit too much, but we're gonna get into that. Um, going into because like basically they split off in this episode. Cisco and Hartley go off and do their own thing. Tom Cavanaugh must have wanted a vacation or something because he's barely in this episode. And
Yeah.
Barry is kind of doing his own thing with Henry and Joe. But
Well, Tom Cavanaugh had to let his back rest because he's carried the whole first half of the season. So he just needed an episode off, you know.
he's like, I've done all this acting. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do a little bit. Here you go.
Yeah. Did you see the other day at a con he said tell James Gunn I want to come back and be the Reverse Flash again.
That would be
So
great. Like him on a like a big scale. And honestly, like just do something like you did in season one. Like later on, I feel like he gets a little campy. But
oh yeah, for sure. No, I'd be super happy. I mean, obviously I doubt that anybody from the show will come back in
yeah,
those
no.
specific roles, but I'd love to see him in the DCU somewhere. Him and Grant Gustin actually.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, Grant has said that he'd be interested. A fan asked him at like one of those conventions, and he's like, "Hey,
Yep.
I trust James Gunn, so like if he wants to reach out to me, I'm open." Is what he
That's
said.
exactly what Tom said. Tom said, "Put me in, Gun."
I love Tom Cavanaugh, but
Yeah.
yeah, so Hartley's annoyance at Cisco not following him when he uses more scientific terms, it's funny, and also it's like funny because it's a character building thing where you see like that Cisco is smart, but even he can't wade down to the depths that I guess Hartley goes to, like intelligence wise.
Of course.
Yeah. Um I love their back and forth and how he's just slowly doling out information about Ronnie and Stein. Um I forgot that we actually saw that though. Like we saw them fuse, like Ronnie and Stein in this. Did you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't remember shit then. My memory must be terrible, guys, because I can't remember half of this show. I swear I'm a fan. I got like this right here. I got this this figure behind me. Don't take away my podcast hosting job here. Like I swear I love this show. But
Yeah, the effects of the merger weren't great, but they
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I have a note about that. That's why I was going, yeah. Like it's Ronnie's face looked like a plastic doll, basically. Like just very like just yeah, not great. What? You had the actor there. Why did you just like put the effect on top of the guy? Like I
Yep.
whatever. I like Hartley's clever escape. Though we never see him modify his hearing aids. And given the time frame, it seems unlikely that he'd be able to do that without Cisco really catching him. Did you feel the same way?
Completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Um, Caitlin drunk karaoke is so fun. It's one of the few things I remember from this episode, and especially seeing a closed off character really cut loose is really entertaining.
Yeah, like I said, she was definitely out of her element, which also helped Barry to get out of his element a little bit as well. You know, have fun. It was a have fun episode.
Yeah. I like that Caitlin can't sing because it adds to the awkwardness of the scene and Barry's slight awkwardness. I also like that I like her reaction whenever she
Whenever it
sees
starts
that
to
he can
sing,
sing and
yeah,
she's just like that. She's like shocked.
you can sing and you're fast. What
Yeah.
can't you? Yeah.
That's why I was just like, that would be a great, because I was thinking about this and like going into how I wish they were love interests. That would be a great first date story that they could always like harken back to and be like, you remember that time like Summer Lovin'? Like I know they have like a little joke in this, but like that could be like a reoccurring gag. I kind of wish that
Yeah.
they played that out a little bit more. But yeah. I for again with the Linda Park thing. I guess she didn't stick around long. Do you remember like if she was on for maybe more than two episodes?
She she did not stick around long. Essentially, Barry couldn't be honest with her about being the Flash, and he couldn't make enough time for her. he was always running off.
Gotcha. That checks out. But oh yeah, Linda was smooth as hell with that phone tapping thing.
Well, it's really funny is now that's like a this is actually a thing for me with my line of work, but that used to not really be like a thing that phones could do. And
Yeah.
with the new iOS update, at least with the iPhones, you can literally just tap your phone next to a person and it does that. So
Yeah, because I remember watching that
pretty
show
cool.
back in the day, watching The Flash and being like, "Wait a minute, my phone can't do that."
Yeah. But yeah,
But
they can do that now. So it's actually not out of the realm of possibility.
I wouldn't even think to do that now, honestly. Like it's one of those things where it's like it wouldn't even occur to me to just do the little thing. I know they have like on Snapchat they have the little barcode
Yeah.
thing or that little scan thing. Can you tell we didn't really like the episode? We're not really talking about it, but yeah.
You just
Um
haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. That's
yeah,
all.
well, Barry using super speed so Caitlin can throw up outside and even holding up her hair is awesome and shows, like we said before, what a great guy he is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Would that make her throw up more though? Like the motion sickness.
That's what I was thinking too. I just kind of forced it out of her, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's a gross image. Forced to throw up out of somebody. But yeah. Anyway. Um I like the like we said before, the whole thing with like, oh, you deserve a peek and everything, and he doesn't take advantage of that situation, even though clearly Caitlyn has some attraction to him.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very kind of him.
Yeah. Um hold on. Oh, I love that she remembers singing Summer Loving with Barry, and he and is so embarrassed, and it makes sense with a character that's closed off like she is, that any kind of outward appearance or thing or like anything that draws people's attention would probably make her like shrink into herself.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that she even did it to begin with. But yeah.
Yeah, it's probably before, if I had to theorize, and we don't really see this in the show, I'd have to guess that probably before Ronnie died, she was probably a lot more social and outgoing and everything.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Because like that stuff just doesn't come from, or maybe like, but she doesn't really drink, so it's not like one of those things. Because some people need like, there's a reason that liquid courage is like a saying, like
Hmm.
that kind of thing, where she maybe needs like a little alcohol to have fun, I guess. But I like that Cisco tried to find Ronnie because of the massive guilt he felt, and I do um, like I like also that like Ronnie had told him like basically to seal the door off and everything. But Caitlin, we really see how much she grows in this episode because she says, "Do you think that's your fault?" Like it's not. Like she's like, "I don't blame you for that. Like he would have
You've
done the
been
same thing."
carrying around this burden for this long.
Yeah, and it's
Here's what
just really
I
good.
say.
Yeah, I know what one of my heart moments is gonna be. It's probably gonna be that scene actually really touched me. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm glad that Team Flash didn't break up over this revelation. Because like sometimes they do that, like where they'll do that
Yeah.
forced like thing where it's like, oh, we're breaking off and everything, it'll be fixed by the end of the episode. I'm glad they didn't do that, especially since they just did that in a recent episode.
Yeah, I agree. She definitely doesn't give the reaction that you think she would give, but I think it also shows her growth in the episode with being able to move on from that too.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said before, I think that this episode is Caitlin's best in terms of comedy, drama, and character work. Also, it's a really funny episode, kind of like what we said.
Yeah.
Um, have you noticed this too? I feel like they always try to find a tactical way to take out the villains. I've started noticing it now, actually. Did you notice that too?
Well, yeah, man, they're scientists.
Yeah, that's a
So
good point.
and so that's how they would approach it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always, it kind of reminds me, and I know you haven't seen like Dragon Ball yet, but early on, like in Dragon Ball, Goku would use a lot more tactical things instead of just powering up. He would find a way to like outsmart the person he
Yeah.
was fighting. Basically, I kind of wish that was more of a thing later, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, hold on one second. Yeah, like I like that he turns off the lights though too. Like that final scene in the in the tunnel was really good, I thought. Is that the
Yeah,
same tunnel from Arrow?
that's a good question.
From season two? You know what I'm talking about? Where there's that like scene with where like, Deathstroke has all the like his army and everything, and they're all like running in the tunnel. I think that might be the same one.
I would not be surprised actually.
Yeah. You let me
They
know.
use
You're rewatching it now.
that's yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Henry being hurt in prison hospital was hard to see since I've grown so attached to him. Also like that Joe and him kept working together because despite the risks, it made him feel useful and useful to his son.
Yeah. I love that that's what he said. And then he was trying, and this is where you really get to the best part of the episode. The hard part for me was once you realize that Henry knows, that
Mhm.
Barry is the Flash, obviously, and he says, "Well, if my son was the Flash, I want to make sure he knows that his father is proud of him." And you can see him like with the emotion, and Barry even. I don't know if you noticed this, but Barry even in his eyes a little bit. There's like a little tear forming or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
It's great
So
stuff.
a lot of emotion on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, whenever just going in, like, while I'm thinking of this actor, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. I might have. Whenever I met him, one of our friends, I think I mentioned this on the first episode too, had like early on with Flash, there wasn't really a lot of merch. And one of them had like the Star Labs shirt on, and actually, John Wesley Shipp looked, he's like, that's like the one in the show. How did you get that? Like he was actually like kind of surprised. It's really like a wholesome moment. Like he was kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really cool. Where'd you get that? Great.
Yeah, but I always love those scenes, especially with him or the scenes with Joe and other characters. They remind me so much, me personally, of like my grandfather and our relationship and the things he
Mhm.
would say to me. And so it always pulls at a heartstring in a different way, I think, than other scenes do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then following that up, I like that the Flash takes the guy who stabbed his dad outside of the prison and doesn't even harm him or anything. Kind of showing he practices what he preaches with the whole like not torturing
Yeah.
people that he's interrogating.
But hey, what about me?
Just left him.
10
Um,
more years.
Yep. The dark tunnel fight scene was smart and visually fun to watch. I like we're coming towards the tail end of this. I like that they finally fixed the problem that I had with the compound, with the mirrored glass and everything. So like they couldn't see that it was just Barry and like,
Yeah,
guess their identities and everything. Like I thought that was smart. They should have done that from the beginning, honestly.
absolutely.
I feel like the only reason they did that was so that they could have that scene where his bully, like in the previous episode with the bully and everything,
Where
like
he
just to
faced
set
off
them.
with him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I like that. Oh yes, the mirror glass thing. I like that. Both Caitlin and Barry agree to finally move on and stick to it. I wish they'd moved on together, like I said before. But yeah. Um, oh, I like that. Oh, I forgot. Iris got a quick snapshot of the Flash during one of their meetups. Not to be a wet blanket, but how fast is that shutter speed?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that definitely, yeah. Realistically, it wouldn't look like that either. So that's why I was like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, it looked too good. It wouldn't look like a promotional image for the Flash, basically.
yeah, exactly.
Um, Iris seems confused and a little jealous that Barry is not there to see her and instead is there to see Linda. I love this scene.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
You definitely, it adds a new dynamic to their relationship,
Mhm.
but also because of Linda Park. I know you forgot about her, but Linda Park is great.
You're like, I
She's
never forgot.
she's probably my number two or number three favorite character of all time on the show.
Who's number one, Patty?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know.
number one is still Patty,
Yeah, we're still same brain, still got it.
but
Um,
Eddie is probably number two now. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Also love the scene directly after it, you were kind of saying, where Henry and Barry are bantering over his date. Also, there's no way, like I said before, he doesn't know that Sun's the Flash, but I like that whole thing. And then how did he get the newspaper? Did Barry give it to him, or because you I think at one point he said something about like he was reading the paper, or maybe I think you see the paper, like you see the image from it.
I really don't remember, to be honest with
Yeah, me either. Anyway, so I think I know what we both want to talk about before we get into our ratings and everything. The final scene, the one after the closing little flash logo. Oh
you.
my
Yes.
God. What
Oh
was
my
saying?
god.
We're like, oh my God, yeah. Dude, I can't wait. That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, they're definitely some of the more fun episodes. And Grodd doesn't look terrible.
He looks really good. You gotta take in the fact, like the time period and everything. And
Yeah,
then there's other creatures too that we gotta get into. Like there's like, is it King Shark?
yeah, King Shark, I believe we see later on, and I'm not sure who
Yeah,
else,
it's
but I
okay.
see Shark later on. Yeah.
Yeah. His episodes, like Grodd's episodes, are some of the best. So I'm really, even the later seasons where some people would say the quality kind of fell, those were still really great episodes. I don't know what it is about this like telepathic ape in this thing and why they write it so great, but like it whenever they whenever they tackle that character, they do great with Reverse Flash, and they do great with the mind reading gorilla guy too. Like I don't know, like it's great stuff though. Broad, yeah. But yeah, heart, humor, spectacle. You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Absolutely, I will. So, Heart for me, a final scene with Barry and his dad,
Definitely.
where Dad pretty much lets him know that he knows and how proud of him that he is. I think both actors show an incredible range of emotions in that one scene without even saying too many words. Really, it's very reminiscent of like the speech from like Rocky Balboa for me, where he's speaking to his son and stuff like that. Any
Yeah.
of those scenes, right? They always get me. That's my heart. Humor would probably have to be definitely the when they're walking back into Star Labs that next day, and he's like, "Summer loving," and she's just like,
Oh man, you stole mine. It's all
uh,
good.
but spectacle for me, I'm going to take this in a different turn. Actually,
Okay.
spectacle for me was actually the singing. Getting to see Greg Gustin show off on that. That was a spectacle for
Yeah, and on the other end, it was definitely a spectacle seeing Caitlyn sing though too.
me. Yeah,
Oh man. But my heart thing would, like I said before, would probably be the Caitlyn scene where she finally just releases him from all of his guilt, and that one line that you also repeated, the you've been holding on to that for like all this time. Like that was just a really effect that got me for some reason. And then the humor, heart, humor, spectacle. The humor would be like the actual, like you said, the scene where she's like singing. That's the main thing I remember from this episode. So clearly that has to win something. And
yeah,
then spectacle would be the final scene with like him taking out the different lights of the tunnel that suspiciously looks like it's in Starling City. But yeah.
yeah.
Like that Starling City looking tunnel would be like the third one. But
How
yeah.
many lightning bolts?
Uh I gotta be honest, man. I'm gonna give it like 2.5 out of 5. Like it just there's
I'm
too
with you on
much.
that.
Yeah, there's too much.
I'm with you on that. There's too much going on, and they don't handle it all very well.
Yeah,
If they were able to spread out some of these subplots over 2 episodes, it would have been a lot better, I think. But
yeah. Because there's
yeah,
definitely is like it's like, wait, we're going over here, and then we're going over here, and then wait, what? This is
yeah.
happening now? Like definitely there's a lot of that
I'm
stuff.
not sure who directed this episode, but I hope they don't direct any episodes in the future.
Well, I'll look whenever we get off later, and then like Like hopefully, like I'll keep an eye out. But yeah.
Yeah.
I know one of the guys that's like a director, maybe he was a producer. I know later on the show switches hands, and there's a guy that takes over that a lot of people are mixed on, with like some of the decisions he made. So, but that's later on. I think that's after a lot of people. I hate to say it's a lot of people stop watching, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
True.
anyway, um, plugs. So you want to go first, or me, or
Yeah, I'll go first. So obviously I'm Will. You can catch me on here, guys, anytime. I'll probably be on Tangential Exchange soon, whenever we find
definitely.
and nail down a date for that. And I'm also the host of the It's Up podcast with my buddy Austin. We're generally about every 2 to 3 weeks. We have an episode popping out now. So feel free to check out some of that. That's more stuff coming soon that way.
On season 2 now, by the way.
Yes, season 2.
Yeah, exciting. But yeah, you guys know me. Alex, I got like he said, Tangential Exchange. This obviously that you're watching right now, Flashbacks, a Flash Rewatch podcast. Night of the Batman, which I swear is coming back soon. I'm so busy, guys. I work 2 jobs. I'm trying my best here. Just give me a break. Just everybody just back off, okay? Like everybody back up. But yeah, just attack my fan base. But anyway, if you want to find me on any of these, it's on all of your except for Tangential Exchange and maybe What Mean. Anyway, the main two from like last year are on all your favorite platforms, like Night of the Batman and Flashbacks. You can find both of those on iTunes, Spotify. If you want to watch the video version, by the way, I haven't actually said this on the air. Video version is Spotify only. If you want to watch, if you want to see our beautiful faces, we're on here. So yeah. So all your favorite streaming platforms. Anyway, um, what do we say again? Yeah, that's right. We'll see you in the Speed
In the Speed
Force.
Force.
All right. Oh wait. So stop the recording. There we go.